Wars may be unavoidable, but whom we choose to send into war zones is a matter very much up for debate. Like many great institutions, the U.S. military evolved to meet needs at critical moments. No doubt, if there ever were serious discussions about lowering or raising age limits, those debates ended decades ago. Such a discussion will now happen only if there's a grassroots movement. It is my great hope that this book will be a spark that lights a fire. With new technology forever changing how wars are fought, it is time to rethink whom we send into battle and whom we allow to join the military. The world continues to change and evolve, and the U.S. military needs to do the same. In short, it's time for a change. It's time to acknowledge that people live longer, are generally healthier, that professional specialties are changing, and the nature of battle has changed, requiring fewer people on the field. It's also time for the U.S. military to acknowledge that recruiting and sending teenagers into a war zone is a bad idea. Such faulty thinking has resulted in an epidemic of suicides, depression, post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, and dishonorable discharges. The 19-year-old soldier sitting in a trailer on an Army base in Colorado who launches a drone strike on an enemy target in the Middle East is probably as susceptible to PTSD as the soldier who fires a weapon during hand-to-hand combat. I've reviewed hundreds of PTSD cases and can categorically state that younger recruits are at much greater risk. Is it a risk worth taking? In my career as a psychologist and later as a psychiatrist, I treated military personnel on foreign bases and, eventually, veterans at VA hospitals and U.S. Army casualty hospitals who suffered from PTSD, depression, suicidality, and a host of other war-related afflictions. I've seen up close what war does to people, especially those who are psychologically unfit to serve in the first place. I don't have all the answers, but I have some experience that allows me to offer suggestions and context for further discussion. I do not advocate keeping teenagers from joining the military, but I think there is an argument to be made that teenagers should never be allowed on a battlefield. It is also time to remove upper age restrictions, especially on licensed health professionals or any highly skilled professional that the military could use. This cause is particularly near and dear to my heart because at 63, I became one of the oldest persons to join the U.S. Army first time and go through officer basic training.